We're going to be covering topics like weight loss, postpartum depression, self-image. Weight loss starts with your mindset and nothing else.
A lot of results are going to show because of what you're doing behind the closed doors.
If you're able to push through the hard times and you're able to still act and still do when you don't have results, that's going to yield so much success.
Anything that's worthwhile is not meant to be easy. It's just how life, the principles of life, everything that has some sort of a great reward at the end of it, you have to take a great risk. Can't have a testimony without a test. You need to go through that grind.
All right, welcome back to the Imperfect Walk podcast, the next episode in our series. We're going to be starting a series called, what is it called? Getting Back on Track?
Getting back on track, that's right.
Nice. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be a 3-part series, and we're just going to be going through different things to, if you're like at the low of lows or you're just going through different things, we're just going to be covering topics like weight loss, postpartum depression, self-image, support systems, all that kind of stuff to really just be able to help you set yourself up for success.
I'm just here for the ride. A lot of this stuff I learned from her and her going through a lot of these things. So I'm just here to just add a lot to what she speaks about and be a wingman.
Yeah, so I have a couple notes right now. Before we get started, though, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to us, and just comment down below because your support means so much to us.
Thank you guys so much for again tuning in. Seeing a lot of the views, getting a lot of great feedback and comments. So keep them coming, keep those feedbacks coming. And definitely let us know if there's anything that you guys will want us to talk about. Is there anything you guys probably have, like maybe, I'm struggling in this area and stuff like that? Feel free to even reach out to us as well and ask us different questions, pick our brain a little bit, share different things with us. We definitely want to hear those things. So we're excited to keep, keeping these rolling out. As you haven't noticed, it's every Friday. Every
Yeah, we
Friday.
post every Friday.
These are coming out, so stay tuned. Look out for those every Friday. Just put on those post notifications if you really want to.
Yeah.
I suggest you do. But yeah, I'm excited to keep it rolling.
Yeah, we're going to be covering 4 topics. This episode is about weight loss, and our goal for you to the end of this episode is for you to have a solid foundation that if you do want to lose weight, you can lose weight successfully. And even if you don't want to lose weight, but you want to establish habits that are going to cause good health long term, that you're able to do so and you're able to change your mindset through this chat and just through experiences that we've had. We basically just have 4 points, and yeah, we'll get right into it.
Absolutely. Share the points. Let's get it.
Cool. So just a little backstory. I just want to give a little bit of backstory about myself first so people really understand why I'm making this episode. But my backstory in terms of weight and working out and just fitness in general, I grew up pretty thin actually as a kid. But then somewhere along the line, I'm not sure where, I got a little bit chubby.
Sorry, I feel like I'm always drinking tea or something on this
You are
podcast.
always drinking tea.
It's my tea cup.
I
Sorry.
have tea too.
Oh, your
It's over
tea's
there.
it's far over there.
Okay, well, anyways.
Yeah, you keep going. You grew up pretty thin, you were mentioning.
Yeah, but then somewhere along the line, I was chubby. And so I was always a little bit overweight for my age. And I just remember being bullied about it, first of all. But second of all, just always being comfortable with it, never wanting, like being uncomfortable with it, but not uncomfortable enough to want to change it. Right. And in order to create change, you need to be at a certain level of uncomfortness where you actually put plans in place to change something. I don't think it was until high school when I was maybe grade 10 or so where I actually made that decision for myself to, okay, I want to actually lose the weight now and I want to change things. And at the time I worked at McDonald's and I had gained a little bit of weight working there just because they give you meals 50% off. Why would you not buy that?
Fair enough. So junior chicken at that time was what, like $1.50 or $2? So
Yeah.
you get junior chickens for $1.
I remember going with my friend back in elementary school and we'd get junior chickens and McDoubles for like $1 something. Because we'd only need $2 and something and change to get 2 sandwiches.
And I remember I used to always get the junior chicken and the sweet and sour sauce. One of my friends put me on it at the time, and I'll just get the sweet and sour sauce and junior chicken. I'll dip it into the sweet and sour sauce.
Or the sweet and sour sauce and mayo is also really good.
Okay,
With
that's
fries.
pushing it.
No, trust me, it's really good.
Mayo?
Yeah, really good. Anyways, So I worked at McDonald's at this time, and then so I decided to lose weight, and it was a decision. Like I literally made that decision, and I said, and I think at the time it was because my ex just was doing things that made me uncomfortable, and I said, you know what, like maybe it's because of this. So I decided to change this factor. And I literally went to the library on my spares and I researched everything about being healthy, everything about losing weight. And I had a document that I printed up that had all the different foods that I could eat and stuff. Obviously, I'm a blueprint. So that's, of course, what I would do.
That's also part knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. That maybe I think maybe I had a little bit more knowledge back then. But yeah, so that's what I did, and I basically researched, and then I put my plan into place. I remember I would just come to school, instead of getting a bagel and cream cheese, I would get oatmeal in a cup at the cafeteria, or I'd get their chicken sandwich for lunch, and I would work out. So all my habits changed, like, instantly, and I would go to the gym, I would start doing cardio. I don't think I really did that much, and all of a sudden, I just lost weight, and I lost probably I was my highest around 165 at the time, and I went down to 125. So it was 30 pounds within a couple months. Like it came off so easily. And I just, what? Oh, that would have been 40 pounds.
Yeah, that's why I laughed.
Wow. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
so about 40 pounds that I lost just like that in a couple months. And it
Mhm.
was so easy. I would do hit cardio. The crazy thing is, though, I looked at myself at 125 and saw the same person that I saw at 165.
Is that what you call like body dysmorphia?
Yeah,
That's why they call that, right?
yeah, and that's a whole other topic. Yeah, so I got down to 125, and then over the course of the next couple years, I stayed in the gym, I stayed working out, probably 3-ish would be average days a week for the next several years. And I would lift weights, and at that point, I started to just put on some muscle. And I always fluctuated around 135 to 140 is where I always
Because
fluctuated.
that muscle increased the weight limit a little bit.
Yeah, and just through life and just women in general, they gain and lose weight every single month just through their cycle. And throughout the pandemic, I gained a little bit more weight and then just lost it naturally again. And so it was never really a struggle in that time frame. I would just always just keep working out, stay consistent with my goals. And that's pretty much all I did. Maintain healthy eating habits, and then I got pregnant, right? And then that's where a lot of my weight gain came. I gained probably 60 pounds. I don't even know. I didn't want to weigh myself anymore at that point.
Yeah, you were weighing yourself like consistently on a regular basis. And I'm like,
Like afterwards.
yeah, even before too, as the baby was growing, I'm like, babe, of course you're gonna gain some
Yeah,
pounds because the baby has to
you have to
grow.
weigh yourself at the appointments.
Oh no, even at home.
Did I?
Yeah,
I don't remember doing
yeah,
that.
you did that. We have to scare here, but
Yeah.
afterwards, we're getting serious and getting back on track. So you weigh yourself all the time, all the time. I'm like, if you keep doing that, you're not gonna see significant,
Yeah.
because it's gonna take. You know, like how a lot of people, a lot of like successful principles is do a lot of work, don't check the results yet.
Yeah.
So I think you were doing a lot of checking the results consistently when if you're trying to dig a hole, if you try to check the hole every centimeter, then it's just gonna feel like it's insignificant.
Yeah.
If you check the hole every 4 to 5 inches, it's gonna go from 5 to 10 to 15. You're gonna be like, oh, that's a significance
Hmm.
right there. So it's kind of like the same concept.
Yeah. And I had to learn that because it was so uncomfortable losing weight at first. And it was so frustrating. And I literally didn't want to do it. I didn't wanna do any of it, but I wanted to not be at that weight more than I didn't wanna do it, and so I did it, and, like, very slowly and painfully over the course of 2 years, I lost, um, 40-ish pounds, and right now, I'm at the point where I'm not yet at my goal, but I'm close to my goal, where I wanna be. That's just a little bit of backstory of everything. So, the first thing I wanna cover is mindset and weight loss, because weight loss starts with your mindset and nothing else. Like, if you don't change your mindset around it, your habits aren't gonna change, and the long-term effect of your weight loss isn't gonna change, and I had to learn that the hard way, like what you just said. It's gonna happen in small little increments. It's about consistency over time. It's about just winning that day over and understanding that if you win 5 out of 7 days a week, then you're winning, right? So it's all about your mindset. And that's with anything in life, right? Like you have to become okay with not seeing results for a couple weeks and just doing what's necessary without checking any results. And eventually you're going to look back and you're going to see the
It's
results.
like the bamboo tree theory or the bamboo tree story.
Yeah. Where bamboo grows for a couple years, you can't see it. It's growing little by little by little. And all of a sudden it's just,
Poof.
yeah, that's what weight loss is like. And I think that's so crucial to understand because out there in society, especially with Ozempic and different things like that, people are expecting things fast and people are expecting things to happen overnight. But you can have that fast weight loss. You can take Ozempic. You can do all those things, but you're not going to develop the habits, the mindset behind being at that weight. So you probably are just going to end up back where you were. You're not going to have healthy habits like going to the gym and mobility and flexibility. They're going to take you into your like later years of life. That's the first thing. The second thing is setting foundations for yourself. Like if you're at rock bottom or you're at a point where, let's say you're not in the gym or you're not working out, then setting foundations of going for one walk a day, put some music on, listen to a podcast, listen to this podcast, and just get some steps in and start from there and do that for a week or 2 weeks consistently. And then continue to add on to that. Like, then start working out. And if you're a mom and you're postpartum and you don't know where to start, like, you need to do pelvic floor exercises and start doing that maybe every couple days or do a 10-minute one, right? Put your show on a TV and just do a 10-minute workout. And it's so easy and so simple. And just be consistent with it and try to get it done when you can, right? And pelvic floor restoration is so important for then working out like farther on. That's like the building block, setting those foundations of walking, your internal muscles, your internal core, and then eating. So if you have maybe an unhealthy lifestyle or habits in terms of eating, then just starting at a point where swap certain things out. Or if you don't want to swap certain things, just have slightly smaller portions and add more protein or add something more nutritious to your meal and just start from there. And slowly but surely over the weeks and the months come, start changing up different foods that you have, right? Like start having more nutritious, more fibrous foods, higher protein foods, things that taste good, and just learn how to make things taste good that you're still going to want to enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you're not going to stick through with it.
I think from a man perspective, especially if someone's wife is going through a lot of those stuff, it's just trying to understand. Because I think in the beginning, I would be like, "Oh, why is she having this on? Why is she thinking about? Why is she talking about this again?" Or you get frustrated. I'm like, "Oh, why is she frustrated again?" Like I've told you, you know this many times, but I think it's come from a place of understanding
Yeah.
and knowing that where you once were and how you may feel that you're not there because especially how with the worldly views how people it's like it's easy to fall into that if that makes sense. And it's like for us it's about uplifting your wife in terms of how can you let them, still share that discomfort, share that what's the word I'm looking for here? Share that feeling that they have and how they're feeling. Share those things and how they're feeling in terms of I'm frustrated that I'm not getting these results or I
Yeah.
don't like the way I look. Because those are things it's hard for us to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear your wife say that. You don't want to hear those things. Is understanding where is it coming from. Because even though you know that she looks beautiful to you, she may feel a
Yeah.
certain way and she probably might not even be what she's seeing is not really what it is. But it's for you to kind of uplift her in those areas and kind of point her in the right direction in
Hmm.
terms of like, hey, well, listen, point out the good things. And be like, hey,
Yeah.
you've been super consistent in the gym. You've been doing your thing. You've been crushing it. You've been doing this, doing that. You can't keep watching the results. The thing is that a lot of results are going to show up because of what you're doing behind the closed doors. And if you keep fighting yourself about that result, when that result come, you're not gonna notice it because you've been worried so much about it that when it actually comes, you're not gonna actually notice it.
Yeah.
Or when the results come, you're not gonna really relish it, or you're not gonna really fully enjoy when that result come because you've been waiting so long. Like, oh, finally! It's not more like, yes, I did it. I
Mhm.
worked hard to get it. It's not gonna be like that feeling. So for us as men, it's kind of like holding you up at the highest standard and letting you know that what you're doing is not just for you and your future self, but it's going to be for others because
Mhm.
somebody is going to go through that same thing. And for you to help someone else, you will have to go through that same thing, overcome it, so you can be able to teach to someone else how to overcome. And that's the main thing I always tell you is that right now you're writing yourself in the lineup to teach other people about the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I know here we are creating a podcast for it where if you would not be able to overcome that side of things.
If I didn't lose, like, 40 pounds, I can't tell someone else how to lose 40
Exactly.
pounds.
So it's kind of like getting in that mindset in terms of how do I keep, at the end of the day, I'm not, we can't expect people to just not have that feeling or think
Yeah.
about it. It's gonna happen. It's a natural, but it's like understand the feeling, know where it comes from, and how can I turn that feeling into more, like more motivation,
Mhm.
into more like drive
Yeah.
to go and get it done. I
Yeah.
just enjoy the process because it's not fun, but enjoy the process because it's
Yeah.
during the process that your character is built. You can maintain that now going forward.
Exactly. It's about and it goes back to the mindset of, like, if you're able to do things, push through the hard times, and you're able to still act and still do when you don't have results, that's gonna yield so much success in different areas of life. It's like that lead and the lag time. I think that's super key, and a lot of people don't know about it. The lead is you actually, from what I understand, the lead is actually you doing the action. Like, you go to the gym 5 days a week, you go to classes, you do all the things, you're eating right and everything. You've gained 1 pound that week. That's the lead, though. You're doing the action. The lag time is the lag behind that of actually seeing the fruit and the results of your action come into play in the natural physical realm of, like, or you start a business, you have no clients, you're not seeing any traction, whatever it is. And 3 months down the line of that straight consistency, now you have 10 clients and they're all referring. But it took a little bit of time to get there. But in the first month and a half, you had nothing. So it seemed like there was no fruit. Or, and with the gym, like, you're going all week, you've been going for a couple weeks. Maybe you've only lost 2 pounds, but you feel strong and everything. But then 3 months down the line, now you've lost 15 pounds. And that's the difference between the two.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Um, the next point I had was building on your foundation. So you have your foundation of eating, you're doing little swaps, you're adding in more protein, you're doing little steps, one step at a time, and you're walking. Like, if you hadn't been walking, you got to walk 20 minutes a day. You have your foundation, and then it's building on that foundation. So you now take those habits that you have and you just build on them. Like, if you were going for one walk for 20 minutes, maybe you go for a 40-minute walk, or maybe you do two walks, or maybe you go to the gym and you walk for 10 to 15 minutes after your workout, which is what I like to do for a period of time. Maybe if you haven't been working out, maybe this is where you add in a couple at home workouts, or you get a gym membership and you go twice a week to start off, like, whatever that looks like, but you add on to the current habits that you have developed. And this is where you'll see even more progress as time progresses. You have your foundation, you're slowly changing. Now it's just about building on that foundation, and you'll see progress. Like, you'll see weight over time. One thing that I always see that helps and works really well is taking progress photos. And every month, for example, or every other week, take a photo of yourself, like, maybe not weigh yourself, but take a photo of yourself in the same outfit, for example, and then you'll see the progress. And maybe for the first couple months you won't, but by the third, fourth, fifth, sixth month, you'll definitely see progress through that consistency.
That's smart.
Yeah. And consistency, a lot of people think it looks like showing up 100% every day, but it's like showing up 10% one day, 50% the other day, 70%.
Just showing up anyways.
25%. Yeah, showing up in any way that you can. That's all that consistency is. So the third step of your plan is just adding on to that foundation and making it better. Going to the next level. That's the point and the part where you decide, I'm going to take this to the next level and I'm going to just challenge myself a little bit more. And if you're at home working out, uh, Grow with Joe is really good, especially if you're a woman. I feel like most people who watch her and do her are women, but yeah, she's really good. And if you're doing that, then maybe add in a little bit of strength training exercise as well, or go to the gym too, and just add on to your foundation. Okay, the last and final point that I had written down here is your long term journey and your maintenance for that journey. So you have your foundation, you have your mindset shift, you have your foundation, you're building on a foundation, and it's like you're building a house on a foundation. And I have a really good Bible verse that just showcases this so well, and something that Jesus said. And he said, Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the wind blew and beat against that house. And it fell with a great crash. So that just goes to show it right there. Like Jesus said everything right there. Is like you have to have a strong foundation. Those foundational habits that you're developing are important because everything else will depend on it. When things that happen in your life, and let's say, for example, you have a baby. Let's say, for example, you found out you're pregnant or you lose your job or what else?
Just have any sort of a setback of any kind.
Yeah, if you have any type of setback in life, your car breaks down, your other car breaks down, whatever it could be, and you have those foundational habits, it doesn't even matter if it's about weight loss. It could be in business, it could be in your work, it could be in your marriage, anything. If you have those foundational things, your house will stand strong. And so that's why, in terms of this, it's so important you have that because when things happen and things will happen, and I think a lot of people have the mindset of, I'm going to wait until I don't have so much going on, or I'm going to wait until I'll start next month when it's easier, or when I get this new job, I'll start doing this, or once I have enough money, then I'll get a gym membership. All these different things that you put in place, but you don't realize and understand that you're limiting your foundation by doing that because you have to be able to do it in all circumstances because anything can happen in life. I look at where we're at right now, and when chaos comes, we're just like, okay, like, let's put out this fire. Let's put out this fire. How do we figure this out? Well, we could do this or that because we now have different foundations for different areas of our life. 2 years ago, though, it wasn't like that at all. Things were a lot more chaotic, but we have spent time building those foundations to now we're able to start things and continue to do things even in the midst of the chaos.
Yeah, because everything rise and falls on your habits, on your foundation, on
Yeah.
your things that your values and
Yeah.
things that you put in place, right? And I think a lot of the mindset around what you mentioned about wanting to start something like, for instance, the weight loss journey. I want to start when I have more time.
Yeah.
It's not going to get easier. It's not going to have more time because the good thing is once you can start in the midst of the chaos, when that chaos die down, you can become more consistent because you already started. So then when life gets busy again, you already have those systems in place that you can keep it going. Because if you start when things get quote unquote easier, when life gets hard again, you're
You're
going to
gonna
stop
stop.
those
Yeah.
habits and then you're going to go right back to phase one. And anything that's worthwhile is not meant to be easy. It's just how, like, the principles of life, everything that has some sort of a great reward at the end of it, you have to take a great risk. To get a great reward, you got to take a great risk. You can't have a testimony without a test. So everybody, you need to go through that grind.
Yeah.
And how do you succeed is by having a lot of different failures back to back. It's how you create that success. So for everyone who had that mindset around like I start when this it's life goes more better, this and that, that's I'll just encourage you to kind of shift that mindset and try to think about in terms of I would start when this is think about how can I start in this season of life that I'm in and how can I make the most of that time? If it's right now you only have 5 minutes a day, use that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's about using those cracks of times to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
So now when those cracks of times are more wider, you can fit more in.
Mhm.
You fit more in, fit more in. And then if it closes, at least you know you have the mindset, the mentality, and how to work within those
Mhm.
cracks. So that way you're still staying consistent
Yeah.
over time. And I think that's where it is. It's like it's always building in a difficult season, one of the best things ever because it shapes you. It grows your character. It grows your capacity. And one thing someone else told me is you build out that capacity, push your limits to as much as you can till you feel like it's overdoing it and then take 2 steps backwards. And then you'll be at the perfect standpoint. You know who you are if you listen to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just some of the mindset around that.
Yeah. It's so true. One thing that like I figured out worked for me to do that when it comes to weight loss at least was after our second one was born, I just focused on walking. Like I focused on going for a walk and I wanted to get
You'll
be
take the
active.
stairs.
I wanted to just be active and I wanted to just go to the park and go for a 20, 30-minute walk because I knew that it was just a foundational habit. Number one is just moving my body. And number two, it
Get
would
your body moving.
it would encourage me to want to do more in other areas too,
Mhm.
because you just end up stacking on the different things that you do. Those are my encouragements to anyone like wanting to lose weight and maybe you've tried to lose weight already and you failed. Maybe it's not about losing weight, maybe it's the mindset aspect for you in terms of other areas of life and maybe it's in your business. Maybe it's at home with your significant other. Maybe it's at work and you're trying to build foundational habits and things that you can do at work. Whatever it is, these same principles I think still apply to any area of life. You want to build your foundation on rock and not on sand, just like Jesus said, because obviously he is so wise. I think that wherever you are and whatever you want to accomplish, you definitely can accomplish. And just focusing on consistency over everything else, focusing on small little wins, focusing on the things that matter, and just going from there. And I think you can accomplish so much with that, and you can do so much with that. So hopefully, this episode was just straight to the point and short. Yeah, hopefully, you got value out of it and you're able to apply things.
I will just say as a wrap up thought here is that if you're going through it, if you're going through something, there's a very high chance that someone else either is going through it as well or went through it. So there are definitely a lot of resources out there to help you with that thinking. And don't ever feel bad for thinking the way you're thinking or feeling that way. Absolutely normal. The biggest thing is now, are you willing to change that? Are you willing to do what it takes to overcome that? So now you can help the next person that actually goes through that. Because God makes people go through different things to help so they can actually use that and share with other people and help other people. If that's not your mindset around helping people and stuff like that, that's totally fine as well. But for those that, if that's your mindset and you love helping people and love supporting people, every challenge that you face, take mental note of it because somebody's experiencing that. And don't ever feel bad about having those experiences yourself because at the end of the day, we'll call for greater purpose. And you yourself has been called for a higher purpose. So don't ever limit yourself
Yeah.
in anything that you can do. So I'll be believing you. We think you guys got it, regardless of what it is. I don't know if anything else you want to say.
Yeah, actually, I never said so the scripture that I quoted was Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 to 27, just in case anyone wanted to read up on that. And if you've never read the Bible, read Matthew because I think that's such a great book. Regardless of what you believe in, it's such a great book with so much wisdom. So, yeah, leave your comments down below, leave your support, follow us, um, hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate your support. And yeah, share this with someone that you think it would bring value to.
Catch y'all on the flip side.
Bye.